Today is Easter Sunday and we're at the beach. It is a gorgeous day. Gorgeous. Transcendent. I feel so aware of so many things to be thankful for. At the same time, I realize that there's so many things going on in the world that we feel powerless against, that we feel are indomitable. And the fact is that everything that's going on is based on agreements, either between you and them or between all of them together, or, just with you and yourself. And we've been domesticated all of our lives to accept these agreements without question, and to kind of subconsciously know the rules of the domestication, and to know that we can safely make assumptions that certain things are true, and they're not necessarily true. They're only true because we've agreed on them. For example, the world economy is based on petroleum, and that's an agreement that was made between countries and corporations. It does not have to be that way. And so we started out our whole lives being domesticated, and as a result we make automatic assumptions. And part of being a spiritual warrior is to raise your awareness. And one of the things you can raise your awareness about is the agreements that you have made with yourself and with others and with life. To be aware of the agreements that you have made, so that you can be free to consciously choose the agreements that you really do agree with. And, you can find various templates for how to make good agreements, like Don Miguel Ruiz's 4 agreements, or soul contract agreements, karmic agreements. There's many different kinds of agreements that you can research. And I just want to encourage you today to be conscious and aware of what you consent to be conscious and aware of the assumptions that you go along with, to be conscious and aware of the agreements that you are consenting to. And, we don't have to change everything instantly. It's a process that takes time, and that process involves awareness and questioning your assumptions, and lovingly undoing your domestication, and consciously choosing the agreements that you make with yourself and with others and with life. If you don't like something, that means that you don't agree with it on some level. And it would be really helpful for you to examine the assumptions around that and decide if they are your own beliefs or beliefs that have been imposed on you by someone else. And so you don't have to believe in those assumptions. You don't have to believe in those agreements. You might be forced to go along with them. Like, one thing that's coming to mind is the driver's license. It's unconstitutional to have a driver's license unless you are engaged in something commercial. As long as you're going to and from work, you're carrying your family, you're just living your life, you don't have to have a driver's license. But we have this agreement, with this unspoken agreement with the cops and the government and everybody else, that we will comply with this assumption that we have to have a driver's license. And if you really cannot comply with that and you don't agree with that, then you can get yourself a sovereign card, and if you get pulled over, you can show it to the police officer, and you can discuss whether you really are required to have a driver's license. You can appeal to his humanity to use his discretion and not just give you a ticket or take you to jail. But you have to have that awareness. You have to question the assumptions. You have to ask yourself if you consent to the agreement. And that can apply to any area of life. And it can apply anywhere from the personal level to the collective level. So today I would like to encourage you to do some personal research into the assumptions that underlie your life that you think that you have to comply with because there's some kind of an agreement going on. And use your own mind and your own power, your own consciousness and awareness to question those assumptions, to decide what agreements you consent to, and to formulate your own agreements with life, you know. And it requires wisdom, it takes time, it's a process, it's gradual. So don't be hard on yourself if you're still stuck in agreements that you don't agree with, you know. But I think we can make a lot of progress personally and culturally if we start to question those agreements, those assumptions, you know, those things that we consent to even though we don't really like it or believe it or want it. I don't think real change can happen until we do that, because otherwise we're just going to accept the status quo. We're going to comply with the army of men in suits who shave their faces and have uncovered heads, and they look like businessmen, but they look also like an army that's all working for this establishment economy, you know. Who are they to tell us how to live? Who are they to have the power? Well, they depend on us consenting to their agreements, because we actually have more power than they do, but we can't feel it or realize it because of that domestication. So we need to start loosening up our domestication and raising our awareness and questioning assumptions and deciding what agreements we consent to. So I'll wrap it up now. Remember to be beautiful, be free, and be true to yourself. Remember to be bliss and to be blessed, because you are. And as you go through your day, I hope you get to take care and take it easy like we are. And until I talk to you tomorrow, namaste.